First of all, I do not understand how a man with that horrible mustache has those kind of opinion about black women.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi Leah. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back once again. So my usual disclaimer, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching out anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So this is something that happened about a week ago. Everybody has been talking about it on TikTok. There are some podcasters called James and Fuhad. They are British, okay? Fuhad is a Nigerian British and James is a biracial guy. I think he's half black. So yeah, I come across a couple of their clips on TikTok and it's usually funny, them reacting to stuff and giving commentary and all of that. I don't really follow men that have podcasts. I think the only men that I watch, you know, that sit in front of a mic are Abba and Preach, you guys. So I come across their TikToks and so I am familiar with them, but I've never really followed them to like check out their page. So they have a podcast and majority of their audience are black people, black women included, and they've been that successful to the extent of selling out the O2 Arena. I think I heard someone say that when I was researching for this video. So they were in America recently, you know, having a media tour, if you wish to put it that way. And they were on a few podcasts, but there was two actually, that raised people's eyebrows, okay? People took offense to some things they had to say. So let me just go right ahead and play the video that kind of explains.
James and Fuhad are getting cancelled? Let's talk about it. So this past weekend, you might have seen Shits and Gigs on your For You page a lot, and you might have an idea of why they're getting cancelled, but you might have not seen the clip. Let's take a look.
Oh, you're Ginge. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I'm here for it, bro.
I'm here for the multicultural.
Really?
Yeah,
Black girlfriend effect.
Yeah.
You're
into that.
Yeah. She came
What's the black girlfriend? They just come in and start fighting?
No, bro. You don't know about black girlfriend effect. She just...
Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect?
Oh, you don't know about it?
Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up.
I know exactly. I like that. They shave their hair because they start...
Speaking of the black girlfriend effect, the black wife effect, I made a video about it. Check it out if you will. So it was a trend. Non-black men that were in relationships with black women were posting their throwback pictures in comparison to what they look presently, talking about how they look different, look better because of their black wives. Okay, so that's what this is about.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends,
they grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think? Protective.
Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriend?
So they were laughing. Bro, they are disrespecting women from your culture. They are disrespecting your moms, your sisters. Talking about how they are abusive and slapping their men and stressing their men out and shouting on their men and stuff like that. And you are laughing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's your favorite? We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really? We love them all.
Yeah. That means white.
Yo, who
no.
that means white.
So James and Fuhad are a podcast duo from the UK, and they recently went on an American tour, and this is also one of the clips that went viral from this tour.
In Atlanta, I've seen the least baddies so far.
Oh, thank God we ain't from here. I'm a Texas girl.
You ain't offending me now.
You see, they ain't thank you.
We've still got a couple of days. Maybe we'll find out. But I've seen like 2.
Now, there were obviously a couple of people who were upset about the clip that I've just shown you, but not as upset as they got about this past weekend's clip. Now, a lot of black women are upset about this past weekend's clip because the people who support James and Fuhad the most are black women. So for them to sit there while Andrew, who is known for his dark sense of humor, was busy bashing black women, they obviously were going to be upset about it, right? So yesterday they uploaded a podcast episode on YouTube, and at the beginning of the episode they apologized, and this is what they had to say.
If you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. But we just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And yeah, there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke. And we were laughing at it. And to give, there's first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like it is, yeah. Fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in the situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you, I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I would smack homeboy in the face, I would say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there,
I have so many things to say about this apology. I know it's probably a little bit early, but first of all, I don't see you all actually making an apology. I see you all making an explanation. Fight or flight. Now, I said it's not an apology because you were not addressing the people who you offended by the things you said, with the things you said, with the laughing and the kicking and your inaction. When they say black men don't defend us, this is what they mean. This is what black women mean when they say that, okay? So I'm like, this apology, because you're not even addressing it to the people that you offended and saying, okay, I'm sorry, this is what I understood, this is what I should have done better. You're trying to make us understand why, oh, if you were in my shoes, you probably would have done the same thing, and it was fight or flight. So it was fight or flight, meaning you could have addressed it and shut it down, or you could have just kept quiet. So you guys chose flight instead of fight. Wow, how brave.
but when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Yeah, bro, move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is fucking move on. Just move on to the next thing. Just move on to the next thing.
They say they were in shock.
And like we had to say a few times, bro, just move on. Just move on.
So many different topics. You were like, move on, move on, move on.
Yeah.
And it's not even like about pity laughs or anything, but we just wanted to
get out of that situation. It is our duty to protect you guys.
Facts.
And it is definitely not cool to be in that situation. And again, not be the ones to stand up and kick the cameras down. And we fucked it on that occasion.
We did.
It's not going to happen again. We're sorry.
We definitely do apologize.
For one, when you're part of a community, you don't realize that you can hurt your own community.
Especially
when you're not, when unintentionally.
Unintentionally, for real.
And also on top of that, it was so crazy that like the narrative that's been spun about how we feel about our community, the irony of the fact that whilst the whole reason we're in that country was to just show how much we love our community and show how much we love our supporters and how much time we spent at the shows and just like getting to know people and just like understanding.
So they're making it look like they were so uncomfortable, they just couldn't stand it. They just wanted to move on. You were so uncomfortable, but you were kicking and laughing. Well, whatever. So now, this is the one most people are talking about. But from the comment section of the videos that I saw online, I found out that there were some things said about Nigerians, because one of the guy, the dark-skinned one, the Fuhad guy, is a Nigerian. So trust me, I went to search for that clip, okay? Let's just watch it together.
You pronounce your name in an American way.
Tell me how you pronounce it.
Here, I think it would be Fuhad.
No.
They're Fuhad.
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 And what do you think Americans would pronounce it?
Yes. Yeah, like even put Arabic.
I have to be respectful, bro. I have to be respectful, bro. I have to be respectful. It's my Igbo brother right here.
I'm Yoruba, actually.
I knew he was Yoruba.
He's like 50-50.
No. It was three. What is it? Yoruba, Igbo, and then Hausa. Yeah. What's the one? Who are the smart ones?
I would say Yorubas.
Yoruba. And then who are like the conniving ones?
I can't speak on that.
I can't speak on that.
And then that's all you need to know.
That's right. You're always like, we're educated, we're going to school. The house are the lazy ones.
According to you.
And then...
So you see, this man is out here spitting stereotypes about Nigerian people, just like he made a stereotypical joke about black women, because there's narrative out there that has been pushed out for years and years that black women are angry, black women are violent, black women are controlling, black women are difficult. So do you see the pattern here? And then you see the black man there laughing. When they were asking him the question, the full hat guy, when they were talking about the Nigerian part, he's like, in your own words, he's trying to vindicate himself, like, okay, I didn't say that, it was the white man that said it. Okay, so you can see that he definitely was able to know that, okay, what this person is saying is problematic and I'm not supposed to co-sign it. So why didn't he do the same thing when the joke was being made about black women?
And then and then what was it?
And there's Igbo.
And then Igbo is what? They're the ones that are always, they got the scams. They're the greatest scammers in history.
According to you, bro.
There's no truth to this at all. What is the stereotype? We're just speaking about like stereotypes.
I would say stereotypically Nigerians as a whole are scammers.
Can I tell you? I've said this before. What my dad told me one time, and this was so like specific, I didn't even think it was racist. He goes, let me tell you the two people you don't do business with ever. Nigerians and Ismailis. He didn't say black people and Muslims. He said Nigerians and Ismailis, which is like the smallest sect of Islam. He was like, never trust them as far as you can throw them. I was like, what's going on? This is so specific. I'm going to choose to believe it.
Why do Nigerians have that reputation? Just a little scam shit?
I just thought they need money, man. They're the sixth populous country in the world, man.
Yeah.
What does it mean by too many of them? Them. Like, are you removing yourself? Do you guys see what the problem is? I think they went on this podcast removing themselves. They're not thinking of themselves as black people. That's why he's saying these things about Nigerians and you're saying them, not us. And then he's saying that thing about black women and you don't see the need to defend them because you don't even think, you don't even see the brotherhood. You don't even feel like this is my sisters or my mothers or whomever that he's disrespecting. These are my people. So you're standing from the outside looking in. That's why you probably didn't even feel the need to defend black women.
Yeah, and there's not enough funds going around.
But does that same rep hit Britain as well or no?
Not as much as here. No one there as much as here, but I would say,
why do we have it?
I would say it's like attribute because we're Nigerian. It's just it's going to follow us.
We fall for the steps.
Yeah, facts. The UK are switched up. We're switched on. Yeah. We're acclimatized. Yeah. We were scamming in the 90s.
We fell for it. Yeah. So we're like, they're bad people. We're taking advantage of us. Oh, that's a good ass point. Shit.
Okay. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and play people's reaction.
Guys, I really believe that apologizing is probably the worst thing James and Fuad could have done. If you guys don't know what happened, James and Fuad from the podcast Shits and Gigs basically came under fire and they were getting a lot of pushback for a clip that surfaced of them laughing at a joke that Andrew Schultz, a comedian by the way, made about black women. Basically, the joke was along the lines of, basically, when a black woman is dating a white guy, he starts getting like a different, he starts changing the way he looks, but essentially because, these laws said, it's because basically when you start hanging around them, when you start hanging around a certain partner of a certain race, you start picking up their characteristics or whatever, which is, nothing wrong with that. But then Andrew Schultz was like, no, yo, when you start hanging, it's called, them man are getting that kind of handshake to protect themselves from being beaten up by black women, right? A very out-of-pocket joke, a very mad joke, but Andrew Schultz is known for this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't just target black women or a certain demographic. He does it for every single race. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, first of all, you guys' anger is misdirected. These lot didn't make the joke. It was Andrew Schultz who made the joke. Andrew Schultz is the one who you lot should be putting under fire, right? Because he's the one that made the joke. Now I understand, these lot laughed. They shouldn't have laughed. They were completely in the wrong. But the reason why I'm saying apologizing is the worst thing that they've done, I've seen this comment numerous times. Oh, they're only apologizing because they got caught. They don't really mean it, right? Oh, nah, I haven't got any sympathy for them anymore because they were cackling and they were gargling, all this stuff, right? Now you've made it worse for yourself by not standing behind what you did. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like worse for you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, if they didn't even address you or anything, it would have gone away eventually, because I really believe the person who's really responsible for this is Andrew Schultz, not these lot. You get what I'm saying? Not these lot. And now what people are doing, they're finding all the clips of these lot saying some borderline questionable things, you know what I'm saying, about black women, right? And now I'm like, oh nah, these are finished, I can't even watch them anymore, they've lost me, X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So What do you guys think they should have done? Do you think apologizing was the right move? Because personally, I don't. Because I also believe they've lost the trust of men. Because men are now like, yo, so you man are just gonna apologize when you ain't even fully in the wrong. It's not making any sense. Like, but what do you lot think anyway?
I don't understand why women will have an issue with them apologizing. But anyway, when it comes to apologies, from what I've seen, when people that have a public following mess up and they apologize, a lot of times the apologies are usually not accepted. It's almost like people are not given a second chance to redeem themselves, and people always have a problem with the apology.
Now, straight off the bat, the first mistake I think they made with this apology, if I'm going to be honest, is they didn't address the comments that they actually made on another podcast during this 6-week tour. They've literally only addressed the comments that were made by Andrew and how they reacted to those comments on the Flagrant podcast. When actually the very first thing that sparked this whole let's cancel shits and gigs James and Fuhad conversation was the comments that they made about women in Atlanta when James said that he hadn't seen anybody's there, maybe one or two, and that Atlanta was clapped. Now, for me, I feel like that should have been where they started, or at least they should have acknowledged that comment and addressed that in this apology. You can't in one hand be saying that you went on this tour because of your love for the community, but then on that very tour, you made comments where you weren't really showing love to your community. And because of that, I think a lot of women are not going to accept what they had to say in this video, period. I'm also going to call a spade a spade. Podcasting is James and Fuhad's job. It's not their side hustle. It's not fun for the internet. They get paid to do this. They get paid to go on tours. They get paid for their episodes. They get paid to show up on other people's platforms. And so we can assume that they got paid to go on Andrew's podcast as well. I know there's been a lot of conversations about how black people in the UK deal with racism versus how people in America deal with racism. Particularly this misconception that black people don't fight against it, which is not what I want to address here. But I think in the UK...
I think I've addressed a couple of videos on this channel where it almost seems like black British people, they don't really attack racism head on, you know, like the way like African American people will.
I think in the UK, when it comes to dealing with racism in the workplace, respectability politics comes in a lot, and I think that's literally the real reason why they didn't react to Andrew in outrage the way that most black people expect them to, and that's a cultural thing. So I actually think that in this case, James and Fuhad should have just been honest about that, in that in the moment they saw it as, we're working right now, we're on his platform, he's making these jokes, and we didn't feel that we should be outwardly aggressive or outwardly outraged. Bear in mind, he didn't just make jokes about black women, he made jokes about black people, period. So me personally, I would have just been like, to every joke, to let Andrew know that he needs to come up with new material because these black jokes are not funny. Even before that, I also feel that they should have acknowledged the fact that they went on the show in the first place, because everyone that has seen Andrew's shows knows that he uses black people for the butt of his jokes all the time. And it goes to show that integrity means everything. You went on a 6-week tour because you love your black community, and you ended up on a podcast where a white man continuously and has continuously and consistently made jokes about black people.
You know, when you're talking about a white man that considers himself a comedian and makes a lot of jokes that are considered racist jokes and says problematic things about black people, the question just arises like, okay, do you think a white man can go to a black person's podcast and then the black man is talking shh about white women and he's just gonna laugh? Another scenario, if it was a black woman on a podcast by a white woman and that white woman was saying negative things about black men, do you think black women would have just been there kicking? Now, do you see why we are disappointed? This is exactly why.
People, why didn't you do your due diligence to make sure that whatever platform you go on, whatever brand you work with, whoever you're seen aligning to with your brand isn't anti-black, isn't racist, hasn't done anything or has been seen to do anything that could be offensive to your community? Fundamentally, that's where they made their biggest mistake when it comes to that Flagrant podcast, and that's probably another reason why a lot of people are just not going to accept this apology.
I support what she's saying. I agree with her, because normally before you work with a brand, you have to check to know if they align with your brand. Are your audience, your core audience, going to like that you worked with such a person? You know, I think that's also where they went wrong, because this Andrew Schultz actually has a reputation for saying problematic things and also saying racist things against black people. So like, I don't think they did their research.
Black women are not difficult to love, difficult to handle, or difficult to be with. We're difficult to play with, and that's where y'all get it confused. We don't let y'all play with us, and we don't let y'all play in our faces. Y'all want them women that's docile, that's gonna lay down, let you do whatever y'all want to do to her, and we don't allow it. Black women have no issues being submissive and being kind and being loving when y'all allow us to be so. But if you don't understand the psyche and the psychological damage that goes into the mass incarceration, you don't understand that the black women have had to spearhead households, so thus it makes us have to take on roles that we normally should not have to take on. But see, y'all so dumb and uneducated, y'all can't link mass incarceration to women having to take on roles more than what we should because of the mass incarceration. The whole goal is to get the black men out of the house. That's the whole goal, is to get the black men out of the house, and you chomping your veneers and you laughing and smiling and kikiing, doing the white man's job in front of a white man at the hand of the white man, sitting here talking about how difficult black women are, how we complain and how we complain. What are you talking about? Y'all so damn dumb. Y'all are so dumb. It doesn't even matter if anybody said we are not difficult to handle. And even if we are, so what? Y'all made us that way. Now what? Black women carry everything. We do literally everything. We spearhead everything from movements to trends. It would be none of y'all without us. Literally, y'all wouldn't be here without a black woman. Biologically, nobody would live this earth without a black woman. Yet, we the only ones that got to prove to everybody why we are worthy of love. And we deserve better. Ain't nobody proving to y'all nothing. We're not proving to y'all nothing. Say what you want to say, do what you want to do, but keep our names out y'all mouths. We don't care if y'all like us. Of course y'all don't like us. Y'all don't like y'all mammies. Of course y'all don't like us. Make sure you put some respect on our names and go about your way. Leave our names out y'all mouths. We don't be doing nothing. All black women do is sit here, look good, set trends, and y'all be so worried about us. Why y'all so mad? Go get you the white woman that you want and leave us alone. You don't have to. You don't have to put us in places that we don't need to be. We already everywhere. Look around you. Look around you and tell me you can't contribute all the good things in this life to black women. Stop playing with me. We can't even tell y'all. Y'all see how anti-black that is? Listen to yourself. Black women can't even tell y'all what we like and what we don't like before y'all start talking about we complaining. It's anti-blackness. It's anti-blackness. Period. Andrew Schultz. Let me watch my mouth. Andrew Schultz, Suha, whatever his name is, and James, y'all know where y'all can go. And I'm gonna keep it like that because my friend keep getting on me for saying certain stuff, and I need to stop saying certain stuff. But I want to say certain things.
Black women are always the butt of the joke. I don't know, like, don't you guys even get tired of hearing these jokes at the expense of black women? Like,
I think the black girlfriend effect, it might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
While I'm a fan of James and Fahad, and I do watch their content, this podcast was the worst thing they ever recorded. And for those of you who do not even get what is happening, so these two boys are podcasters, and they invited a white guy. He's trying to say black women are aggressive. And instead of these two boys who have black mothers say something to sort of allude that this thing is not true, they were sitting there and kikiking and finding it funny. It's like someone coming into your home, insulting your mom and the food that you've cooked, and you find it funny, like, ha 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 ha. First of all, I do not understand how a man with that horrible mustache has this kind of opinion about black women. First of all, and clearly he's never had a black woman, because I don't think there's a black woman that can stand that mustache. That's there. And then two, if you read anything about melanin, if this guy did a little bit of research, just a little bit of research to understand the effects of melanin on someone, how melanin makes you perceive color, perceive taste of foods, taste in music, and something else. There are a couple of things. That's why black people across the world, most of them eat spicy food. That's why black people across the world, their music has beat. That is melanin. That's why black people across the world, there's something about color. That's why when you see black people who are into fashion, the way they coordinate color, the way they play around with color is very different. That is melanin. So as a black woman, when you start dating somebody who's non-black, there's a certain way you start, adjusting his appearance. I know personally because my boyfriend is a non-black man. And I've been with black men, and with black men, the way they coordinate colors is very different from non-black men. And I've seen this firsthand. So somebody starts looking a little bit different from their usual outfits and fashions and their haircuts. And then, you know, they start looking a little bit more handsome and cute. That's why they call it black women effect, because the melanin has a way of making you perceive color and appearance and music and foods very different. So you translate that to your partner. And while he was there kicking and saying black girl effect and how the white person in this case transforms is a protective instinct, why does then statistics show that a black woman married to a non-black man, let's say in this case a white man, because that's what he was alluding to, why does their marriage have an 83% chance of surviving? If black women are that aggressive, they're that stressful, why do these marriages have an 83% chance of survival? 83 is way above average if black women are that aggressive. It's okay if you don't like black women. It's okay if you don't find them attractive. Totally fine. But to sit on a public platform and start, you know, poking at what the media sort of tries to perpetuate, especially in America, because for certain reasons, I know that's what he means. It's disappointing. But again, why will I even be disappointed in someone that has an Adolf Hitler's mustache? But for me, what disappoints me the most is how James and Fahad were finding it funny. You come to my podcast and start insulting black men on my podcast, and you want me to and say only a black woman should insult a black man, because at the end of the day, you know how they behave. It's only a white woman who should insult a white man. You know what I mean? Because these are your people. It's like, for me, I'm the only one who's supposed to call out black men, because it's like a family to me. But somebody else, it's like with my family. I can insult my brother, but you from outside, you cannot say shit about my brother. But anyway, for the first time, I'm actually disappointed in James and Fahad. And so they're sort of being cancelled. I get it. So next time, when somebody's coming to say rubbish on your podcast and you don't stand on business and call them out, this is what will happen to you.
Yeah, she got it wrong. Then it wasn't James and Fahad's podcast. It was the other way around. It was a Palm Colored Guys podcast. So that apology, people are not buying that apology. Now, the Andrew Schulz guy reacted to their apology video and mocked them. Okay, let me just play what he had to say.
A quick PSA, quick acknowledgement. So, if you know, you know.
You guys just watch the black man in that video. Just watch.
You know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. But we just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't stop staring at this beard. Now that lady said it, that beard is so weird. Maybe a black woman turned him down because of that beard, and he can't take it. He's been bitter ever since.
And yeah, there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Frankly, like racist joke. And we were laughing at it. And to give, first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse.
Pause.
There is no excuse.
Agreed. Pause. There's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse.
And
can you pause? Pause. No excuse for that. I just want to take in the beginning of it. There's no excuse for jokes. There is never an excuse for making jokes.
But can we try?
I'm not going to ever make an excuse for being a comedian. There's never an excuse for making jokes. Okay? That is a real statement said by a man. I just want that to be clear. There is never an excuse for making jokes with the boys. Go on. Let's take it serious. Look at how sad he is over on the left.
Like it is, fight is a real thing.
Do you see how we should go back? We should go back because he's going through it right now. Look how he practiced this. I'm gonna pick my skin. I love you guys. No, I need you to watch him. Look, he bite his bottom lip.
Again, And it's about being human. It's about realizing that you don't know what you're prepared for. You don't know how to prepare for something
you don't know,
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Once it's happened one time, you're like,
pause. You know what's mad funny about this? Is that they had shit that they asked to take out the episode. You know what they didn't ask to take out?
You see this part, you know, when you shoot during editing, you can take out some parts that you feel like, okay, it doesn't make sense, or your audience might not, you know, react very well to. So they had some things taken out. The James and Fuhad guy, they asked him to take out some things from the episode. So who knows how bad those things were, if this is what made it out and we still have black women being the butt of a joke by a palm-colored man and you guys are laughing and kicking. So meaning you guys didn't see anything wrong with that part. So why, which is why I have a problem with the apology as well. You guys talking about fight or flight, you were uncomfortable, you just wanted it to be over. That's why you guys laughed. It was a nervous laugh. But you guys had an opportunity to ask him to take out that part. You didn't. You asked him to take out other stuff. So meaning that you never had any issue with that joke. So don't come here acting like, you know, a lot of people feel like they shouldn't have apologized. Mostly men. I'm not going to lie. Black men included. But a lot of black men feel like they shouldn't have apologized because they're like, only with your full chest, you thought it was funny at the moment. And I think they thought it was funny. They didn't see any issue with that joke. If not, they had an opportunity to tell him to take it out during editing.
Your racist slander.
So look at the man that you were on this podcast laughing at your sisters, your black sisters. You were there laughing, kicking with him. And now he has thrown you under the bus. Who's looking stupid now?
How's your nose twitching?
They had shit. Their producer, whatever, was like, "Hey, we really think that's inappropriate. We'd like to take that out. That's very uncomfortable." Their fight and flight instinct really kicked in after the power down. But with that joke about the black women, nothing really seemed. The fight or flight wasn't really there.
Your delivery was too good.
Maybe they were seduced by the delivery.
Yeah,
I like them. I feel bad they're going through this, but you don't got to protect anybody. That's what I would say.
I like them too.
Personally, to y'all publicly, you don't got to protect. Your people are equal.
So what was the point of this man reacting to this and saying the things he said? It's crazy. You see now, you're over there with the white man laughing at your sisters, and now he's throwing you under the bus. Because he could have probably said things to make it a little bit easier for you. Now you're getting cancelled. That man is over there getting views and getting money at your expense. So who's the fool now? Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation, because there are people who feel like it's just a joke. Comedians can make inappropriate jokes. It's just a joke. And it's reminding me of, you know, the whole Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett joke thing that had Will Smith looking crazy. But anyway, yeah, it's reminding me, like, where do we draw the line? Black women are tired of being the butt of the joke. Okay, you guys should not be out here making jokes about negative stereotypes of black women. If it's a black man that's making these jokes, it's different. But when it's a palm colored person making these jokes, it hits different. And then our brothers who are supposed to be there defending us are there kicking and co-signing what this person is saying. That is why this is problematic. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this situation. What do you think about the joke about black women and the joke about Nigerians too? Let's not forget that as well. And what do you think about the apology? And what do you think about Andrew Schultz reacting to the apology and making it even worse? Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.